I started a Patreon. So I have 3 tiers on my Patreon. I have the bronze tier, which is just $5 for general support per month, and then I have a silver tier, which is $15 for behind the scenes footage, exclusive footage, and access to the posts, and then gold tier, which has things like live Q&A, live chat, still getting the exclusive and behind the scenes content, phone calls, patron shout outs, fan suggestions on videos and other content, and a whole list of things. So I created this Patreon, and it's one of those things too where, like, right now selling tie-dye shirts for this nonprofit in San Diego. I even had someone the other day, they came up and they said, well, why don't you just do independent? Like, independent's the way to go. Why would you sell someone else's shirt when you could sell your own? I agree, independent is the way to go, but I'm 26, it's a process. Like, if it was that easy to just be independent, everyone would be independent. It's a process to get to where you need to go in life, and that's just a good organization I'm working for currently. But the way with the tie-dye sales work is, in the winter is our slower season, summer is our busy season, and right now I'm renting out a house for $1,200 a month here in San Diego, and I can barely afford that. It's just me with no roommates, no girlfriend or anything, which I'm fine with, but I kind of want to get into this minimalist lifestyle as soon as I can, where I kind of dream of having a camper van or a motorhome and not paying $1,200 a month, and just focusing on my content and what I want to do, and living as a minimalist. Even too, like the podcast, the podcast that I created, I posted the first 2 episodes I did a few videos ago, and the quality is very good. I spend $500 each on the episode, so it's one of those things. Like, if I wasn't renting out a house, I could have that $1,200 for like 2 episodes for the podcast every month. Or like I could get into music, something I've always been passionate about as being an artist, and I'm a good writer myself, or like comedy, or just I can improve the quality of certain things. So obviously with Patreon, I'm not asking people to support it. I'm still going to do videos like this constantly on YouTube. I'm just going to upload the way I've been uploading, so it's not about needing people to pay me, or like asking people, oh, please come and support it. If you want to, that would be great, and I'd love to get support on the Patreon and give more rewards for like the higher tiers of payment. And but it's one of those things, like with the tie-dye that I sell, I do a good job selling the tie-dyes, because I don't treat it as like someone comes up to me at the beach or something, it's like, oh, like I need them to buy a shirt. Like, I need enough to pay my bills and my rent, but they don't owe me a shirt sale. So I just come and enjoy my day at the beach, and that tends to help my sales a little bit better with that. With Patreon, some people will say, oh, you're pricing this too high or too low. Not even with Patreon, but just anyone's business or their product or their service. But it's like, people can charge what they want. I hear all the time people too, they see someone's content or a content creator, and they're like, oh, what a con artist. This person is like a red pill dating coach. He'll be charging like $60 a month for his like coaching lessons, or he does pickup artistry, and he does cold approach, like in-person teaching on red pill and game with women. And so someone will say like, oh, that guy's like a con artist, but it's like, you don't have to pay it. He's just saying, this is what I'm offering, here's how I price it, and you make the distinction yourself whether that person's worth it or not. The con artist is the guy that sells you that car and says that everything's fine with it when the engine's not working. You know, you're not getting what you thought you were getting. You're not getting what you paid for. Someone who just prices their content accordingly and leaves it at that, it's just kind of the way it is. And for me, I just thought about how I wanted to do it, and so with my bronze tier, it's like a general support tier for $5 a month, $15 a month as silver for the like exclusive behind the scenes footage. Like with the tie-dye job I do, I post at the job these videos, and a lot of times I'll be doing a video and I get interrupted by a customer, or I'll have footage of just life at the beach in San Diego or the San Diego Zoo, or just customers that come up and people and interactions, or just shots of the beach and the ocean and the landscape, and it's just very interesting. So that would be something I could offer as like extra bonus footage, like bloopers on videos that I do that I don't upload. Yeah, just different things, and it helps me grow as an artist too. Like I said with the podcast I did, if I want to keep doing the podcast with the quality that it is, I want to spend that money on it. Like I want to have like the good cameras and the good microphones and make it look nice and it's easy to watch. And when one person's speaking, camera goes to them. Another person speaking, camera goes to them. Like I spent $500 each on those episodes, but that's how I want to do it. But I need money to do it. And right now I can afford my own place, but I would prefer honestly just getting out of the whole renting thing, saving that $1,200 a month. Just get like a camper van or a motorhome, something that I like to do anyways, to just kind of be mobile and travel and like go to different campsites and still do what I'm doing. I could still sell tie-dye for the meantime, but also too getting more independent. Starting a Patreon, it lets me kind of make that transition quicker. Like if Patreon goes really well, I might be able to spend like a full-time effort doing my YouTube channel and doing my Patreon if I'm able to make enough through that, because YouTube ad revenue, I'm getting close on the watch hours to monetize my channel, but you never know how they're going to promote your channel or not promote it, or what they're going to do to like the views and comments. Like I mentioned in a previous video where comments will get deleted if it has certain keywords or it's on a topic like MGTOW or Red Pill. And if I made a MGTOW or Red Pill video, like if you type in MGTOW and you see the ones that are on the first page, it says like here's what MGTOW does wrong, it's a cult, like it's all a bunch of like negative stuff on like the first page of MGTOW. So like if I were to do a video like oh here's why MGTOWs hate women, like I might have a video that jumps to the top, but I don't feel that that's honest work. I think that MGTOW philosophy it's very important to understand, and there's a lot of good reasons why men go MGTOW. So understanding that and understanding the perspective of those men, I think is just the honest thing to do. So do I have the choice? Could I make MGTOW content that YouTube might approve more, that like boosts me up for my own views and followers and likes? Or but it's not, at that point it's not accurate and it's not authentic. I'd rather not be promoted as fast as I maybe should, but then it's content that I feel and that I'm honest with and that actually makes sense. So again, like not relying too much on the ad revenue or what YouTube might do. Patreon also gives me a way to get off of YouTube a little bit, and where YouTube's a little bit more politically correct, and it allows me to be compensated for my work on another platform. So that's a good thing to have with that. And two, with the modeling that I do here in San Diego with an agency, people ask me all the time why I don't move to New York or LA to pursue a bigger market. And I could always do that down the road, but like I've said before in content, I don't dream of being a model. I didn't grow up like dreaming that. I didn't grow up like, oh, like I'm gonna be a male model one day or whatever. It just kind of happens when you get older and you realize your facial features and your genetics, and then someone's like, oh, you could go do that, and then people pay you money for jobs. But I don't, like, even if like I go to New York or LA right now and I get with like Calvin Klein or something, you start going super high in that industry, you might, like, Calvin Klein could be like, okay, you're gonna be our poster guy for this one campaign, and you're making like 6 figures a year or something. But like now they have access to your social media where like you have to represent that brand in a certain way. So I definitely couldn't do content. You know what I mean? Like if I actually did the modeling route like to my fullest potential, to really like use the whole Jeremy Meeks angle, the mixed race, the green eyes, the facial features, I could do very well in the modeling industry if I like moved to LA, New York, and really pursued it like that. But I like being my own boss. I want to have my own content. I want to do something that makes sense. I don't want to be under like someone's contract where, oh, why did you post that a certain way? That makes our brand look bad. So now we're gonna take away your sponsorship or your contract. I'd rather just do YouTube. I'd rather just do Patreon. I'd rather just do independent stuff. Like in high school, I've mentioned before, I was student body president. I was friends with people in every group, every clique. I talked to everybody. I talked in front of the whole school, up to like 2,000 plus people sometimes at certain events. Did the morning announcements. So I have ability with public speaking and with art and with writing, and I've done music before, but every time I've tried to work with like a friend or something on music, we always try to produce something, and I haven't met like the producer that really wants to sit down and put out content and just do it, because someone always gets discouraged that like our first track got only like 100 plays or something. I'm trying to explain to people that's how it starts. You got to get it out there. So I have not really met people in the way I want to, in terms of taking my art off the ground, whether it's music or stand-up comedy I want to do, or motivational speaking, things that I've done in my life. But people don't see the vision until enough other people see the vision. So I just found for myself it's a little bit easier, and you get better results when you just go rogue, when you go by yourself. Stop relying on like family and friends and classmates and coworkers and people to just like give you the go-ahead. You got to give yourself the go-ahead. You got to price yourself accordingly. You got to know what you're worth, charge what you're worth, and hopefully the right support comes at a given time. So that's just why I wanted to say that I'm starting this Patreon. I'm still going to do YouTube consistently. I'm not just going to do Patreon and then stop doing YouTube because someone didn't pledge or whatever. It's totally fine. I get it. No one's obligated to pledge or support. But if you do, it'd be much appreciated. I got the bronze tier I'm going to have for $5 a month, silver tier $15 a month, and gold tier $30 a month, and progressively more rewards unlock through those tiers. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to keep putting out YouTube videos every day. That doesn't affect my Patreon, or my Patreon doesn't affect my YouTube. It's just it's good to have those multiple streams. Like even if like think of like a YouTube channel that has like 50,000 subscribers, they might get 1% of those subscribers that actually pledge to a Patreon. So say you're getting like 500 of those 50,000. So if the guy's pledging, you know, $1 a month, that's 500 a month. That's still not like a point that he can do it full time at 50,000 subscribers if they're doing $1 each and 1% of them are pledging. So I price it in the way that I want to price it, and I'm just gonna keep growing YouTube. And it's one of those things. If people want to pledge, they do. If they don't, they don't. It's just I can offer more too, in terms of just like when I'm selling the tie-dye and filming all these videos, there's a lot more going on around me, and just people coming up from different parts of the world. So different footage with that. More behind the scenes stuff of my life and just my plans with this and what I want to do, and it helps me get the money to not only get mobile and to get more on like a minimalist lifestyle. I can get out of the house quicker. I can make this a reality a lot sooner than later. So it helps me afford the podcast. It helps me be able to put out music one day with a nice studio, or it allows me to just live my life a little easier, to do this content full time. The sooner I can do this full time, I could do multiple videos in one day, and I can offer more behind the scenes footage and content from that. So like I said, this is just a video on my Patreon and my plans with it, and I'm gonna keep doing YouTube consistently. And I just want to thank anyone that has supported this channel, and I'm glad that people get something out of it, and it's an awesome feeling. I'd much rather do something like this. It's like independent, that's on my own, than to always be at the mercy of like a contract or like an employer or whatever. I'd rather do something that's a little less politically correct. We have too much of that out here in the world, too much political correctness. So I want to do it in the way that I can, independent in the time that I can, and I appreciate anyone that supports it.